let's start off today's episode of Pokemon WTF Moments with a little joke. Ash Ketchum, Tracy, and Misty walk into a bar. The bartender looks at them and says, "That Orange League's a fucking waste of time, isn't it?" Do you know what? Today, let's start out easy. The title. Hello, Pummelo. I spent ages trying to work out if this was some kind of clever pun or a reference to a song or a movie title or a parody of some kind of famous quote. And eventually I came to the conclusion that the title of the episode is Hello, Pummelo because it sort of rhymes. I mean, it doesn't, but that's about the best I could come up with. Long story short though, Pokemon, this title's crap. Try harder. Hang on, these badges are actually able to be scanned, and they're digitally identifiable as specifically Ash Ketchum's badges? Mate, I thought these were literally just seashells with bloody sequins glued onto them.
It's that goddamn big Orange League, always trying to keep tabs on us simple folk.
Sassy Dragonite statue is judging you. Have you changed your underpants today? Sassy Dragonite statue knows. That's right, it knows you're lying. In fact, you're not lying, are you? You're sitting in yesterday's skids. I had a point here. I don't remember what it was. I finally get to address this. The Orange League isn't a league at all. This receptionist guy checks Ash in and says, and I quote,
"Okay, Mr. Ketchum, your winner's trophy match is scheduled for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock sharp at Pummelo Stadium."
So then there is no league. A league would be multiple people competing for a championship. The Orange League is just a single match. Not even against the current champion. It's just against the head gym leader. So I'll say it again. The Orange League is not a league. The Orange League is in fact a joke. Pass it on. Also, let's take a moment to pay our respects to the people that got butthurt when Ash's Alola League victory was celebrated all across the internet. You know, because they didn't like that Ash's Orange League victory was just completely ignored. Like, guys, don't be annoyed that the Orange League victory was ignored. It's not a proper league. Be annoyed that the latest season at that time got spoiled by literally every mainstream news site going. Just as Ash is about to leave, Misty asks him if he's forgetting anything and points out that he needs directions to Pummelo Stadium. Does he though? The stadium is right on top of the hill. They could even see it from shore as they arrived. Plus, there's clearly just one path leading up to it. I'm willing to bet if they just follow that one path, they'll find the stadium just fine. Ash and friends are shown the Palace of Victory, also known as the Orange League Hall of Fame, which is where every trainer who wins the Orange League is celebrated. And it's my boy! Of course someone won the Orange League with my boy. Why would anyone not use my boy? I'm cool. The receptionist guy explains that to get into the Hall of Fame, trainers need to defeat the 4 members of the Orange Crew and the Pummelo gym leader in a full Pokemon battle. Now, ignoring the fact that defeating 4 trainers and a gym leader is not a league, it's effectively just one Pokemon gym spread across 5 islands, we are getting a full battle, a 6-on-6 battle. Mate, it almost makes all the Orange Island filler garbage worth it. Almost. I said almost. Ash has to have the concept of a full battle explained to him and is shocked to find out that it's when both trainers use 6 Pokemon, even though he literally watched his friend Richie lose a full battle during the Indigo League. Plus, he's been a fan of the Pokemon League since before he started on his journey, even sending off for the official hat, so he really ought to know the rules. It's sort of like being a long-time WWE fan and being like, wait, the Royal Rumble has 30 wrestlers in it? Seriously, Ash, learn how Pokemon battles work. It's the bare minimum of Pokemon training. Surely you can do the bare minimum. Hopefully you don't mind doing the bare minimum of hitting the like button on this video, sharing this video on social media, and leaving a lovely comment down below. And if you can't think of a lovely comment, leave something generic, like
Orange League, more like Apple Weebs.
or just comment the name of the secret Pokemon I've hidden somewhere in the video. And if you're new here, thanks for joining us. Hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss an episode of Pokemon WTF Moments. We're currently at 1.74 million subscribers. I know it doesn't look like that there, but if you subscribe today, maybe YouTube will add the extra 0. And of course, don't forget to come to my Twitch streams, because otherwise you'll miss stuff like this.
I think I'm landing on Bowser. I think I'm on the Bowser space.
All 3. Oh, you have.
Oh!
Well, fuck.
No, no, no. Bowser Revolution. Oh! No! Bowser, you maroon!
Direct quote from Ash.
Just think, me, honored in the Hall of Fame forever.
Calm down, lad. It's only the Orange League Hall of Fame. It's basically the Pokemon World equivalent of being Employee of the Month at Tesco. No one gives a toss. Actually, to be fair, sometimes people get Amazon gift cards for stuff like that. Wow. So I've just worked out that being in the Orange League Hall of Fame is somehow even less cool than being Employee of the Month in a Tesco. Confirmed. The guy then tries to explain the whole point of the Orange Island gyms not being like conventional gyms. Don't bother, mate. Just admit they were garbage. He even tries to be like, oh, well, it tests the trainer as well as the Pokemon, when two of them were just battles anyway. You're not fooling anyone, mate. Give up. When Tracy asks about the statues he keeps seeing everywhere, we get this direct quote from the receptionist.
Oh, that's a Dragonite, the legendary Pokemon that guards the island.
Dragonite? A legendary? Don't make me laugh.
Well, actually, Liam, I think you'll find Dragonite is a pseudo-legendary Pokemon.
Still not a legendary though, is it? The receptionist reveals that Drake, the Pummelo gym leader, has a Dragonite. I don't get why he didn't mention that before. Like, oh, that's Dragonite, the Pokemon that guards the island. Also, our Drake has one. Like, if Tracy hadn't mentioned it, were you just gonna leave that as a surprise? Wait, so does that mean this guy just dropped a spoiler? God, you can't trust anyone these days, can you? Meanwhile, Drake's inside the stadium tugging himself off about how great he and his Dragonite are. Way to stay humble, mate. And Team Rocket turn up wanting to steal his Dragonite. When Drake is confused and tells them that they need to apply if they want to battle him, Jessie says they'd never dream of battling the champion, whilst proceeding to get their Pokeballs ready to send out their Pokemon for a battle. I'm getting mixed signals here, guys. Do you want to battle or not? Doesn't matter, mind you, because one Hyper Beam from Dragonite sends them blasting off. But still. In the Pokemon Center, Ash sends out all of his Pokemon and gets them all to attack his Snorlax in an attempt to wake him up. So, way to show off your main character syndrome there, Ash. Secondly, great idea. Hit Snorlax with a bunch of attacks so it faints. That'll wake it up. Wait, Nurse Joy explains that unless there's danger, Snorlax won't wake up until it's hungry again, and that could take days. That means Snorlax just got hit with 5 attacks at once and doesn't consider itself to be in danger. Snorlax is basically confirming here that Ash's other 5 Pokemon are all pussy bitches. Pass it on. Ash decides to swap Snorlax out for Tauros, which is a great choice. However, how did he decide which Tauros he wanted to use? He's got 30. Can he even tell them apart? An announcement lets the locals know they can watch the battle tomorrow free of charge. Because let's face it, who'd pay good money to watch Ash Ketchum battle? Although, if you've ever bought Pokemon on VHS, DVD or Blu-ray, then technically you. Apparently, this is the first Orange League competition of the season being 1 match long, I suppose. Sounds thrilling. Direct quote from Ash to Drake.
I sure have heard a lot about you.
No, you haven't. You've heard he's the leader of the Orange Crew and that he has a Dragonite. That's not much, really. You don't even know what the rest of his team's gonna be. Wouldn't be an Orange Island gym without a few weird rules. So in this battle, the gym leader can't switch Pokemon at any time, but the challenger can switch freely. That's fine by me, because it fits in with the mechanics of the earlier games. Like, I don't quite remember Erica or Koga switching out on me at any point. The other rule is once a trainer has lost 3 Pokemon, there'll be a field change. Ash then asks what a field change is. Mate, it's where the field changes to a different field. You know there are different types of battlefield. You battled on them in the Indigo League, you numpty. Drake's first Pokemon is a Ditto, and that is absolutely a WTF moment. Be honest, the first time you watched this episode, out of all the Pokemon in the Gen 1 Pokedex, would you have ever guessed Drake would start with a Ditto? I know I wouldn't. Something you'll always guess is that I'll always find a place in these videos to talk about GFuel. I don't know if you know this, but I love me some GFuel. It's an energy formula with 0 sugar, barely any calories, and a whole heap of wonderful flavors like strawberry slushy that I'm drinking today out of our channel's official shaker, the Gary 2. Did you know it glows in the dark? And if you use code ACE, our code today, you can support this channel while saving 10% off your GFuel order. Oh, that is bloody wonderful. Go pick up a tub of strawberry slushy, get yourself a Gary 2 shaker, get yourself a whole heap of other flavors, and use code ACE when you do to save 10% off while supporting this wonderful channel. Don't forget though, GFuel is for over 18s only because children do not need caffeine. They're annoying enough as it is. And of course, because it contains caffeine, drink it responsibly. Don't be a dickhead. As the battle begins, Ash sends out Pikachu. And after giving Ditto time to transform into Pikachu, because Ash is an idiot, he gets Pikachu to use Thunder on the Ditto Pikachu and Drake gets the Ditto Pikachu to do the same to Ash's Pikachu. When that doesn't work, they both switch to Thunder Shock. But why would anyone do that? When Thunder, the most powerful Gen 1 electric attack, doesn't work, why would you then switch to Thunder Shock, the weakest one? Simple logic will tell you if Thunder didn't do much, then Thunder Shock's gonna do bugger all. Use your noodles. Direct quote from the announcer.
After facing Ditto, previous challengers have lost their cool, seeing all their Pokemon's hard-earned attacks and abilities thrown right back at them.
Now, I know what Pokemon's attacks are, but abilities? What are they? You're a couple of generations early there, mate. Side note, Misty and Tracy are no help here. You've got Misty yelling at Ash to switch Pokemon, and you've got Tracy yelling at Ash to stay focused. Guys, how about giving Ash room to fucking breathe so he can figure things out for himself? Christ, give the lad a break for once. Drake's Ditto Pikachu uses Thunder, and Ash's Pikachu no-sells it by lying on the ground and using its tail as a lightning rod. Lightning rod? Maybe abilities do exist in this gen. Although, even if they did exist in this gen, Ash's Pikachu shouldn't have Lightning Rod because it's supposed to have static. Pokemon, changing the rules as we go along since 1996. Pikachu's Quick Attack looks identical to Ditto Pikachu's Agility, thus furthering my belief that Ash's Pikachu has never actually known Agility, and that every time we've been told it's using Agility, it's just been using Quick Attack. You know, just without landing a hit. It happens sometimes. Pikachu defeats Ditto with an electrified tail slap, and the announcer simply refers to it as Pikachu's shocking tail.
That's not a move.
Tracy says that Ditto can imitate attacks, but it can't control or change its basic physical condition, and that's why Ditto lost to Pikachu. I'm pretty sure Transform copies a Pokemon's base stats IVs and EVs, which are effectively a Pokemon's basic physical conditions, so Tracy's talking bollocks here. Can't we just say that Ash battled better than Drake here? I know, it hurts me too, but anything's better than talking absolute tripe like Tracy. Direct quote from the announcer.
For his second Pokemon, Drake has chosen Onix, a rock type that's strong against electric attacks.
I think you'll find that's a rock-type Pokemon that's immune to electric attacks. You know, because it's also part ground. Now this doesn't matter because Onix burrows straight underground and dodges anyway, but Ash telling Squirtle to use Water Gun is a big WTF moment. This battle's for the Orange League trophy! Use Hydro Pump, you dickhead! Never ever forget that Squirtle had to literally throw itself off a cliff to learn Hydro Pump, and Ash still refuses to use it half the time. All that peril for nothing. Ash desperately tries to get Squirtle to jump into the pool in the middle of the battlefield to protect itself against Onix. Surely the pool isn't that deep though, so surely Onix could just burrow underneath the bottom of the pool to then come out and attack Squirtle. Sure, it'd probably take some damage, but I reckon it'd still take Squirtle down with it. Ash finally gets Squirtle to use Hydro Pump like it should have done all along, and it does massive damage to Onix, but then makes it switch to using Skull Bash, a not very effective normal type move, to deal the knockout blow. But why though? You were literally preventing Onix from moving with all the Hydro Pump damage, and you couldn't guarantee that Onix wouldn't dodge the Skull Bash once the Hydro Pump had ended. So to me, this was just a really pointless risk. But then again, this is Ash Ketchum, so what do we expect? Direct quote from Tracy after Drake sends out Gengar. Watch out, there aren't any Pokemon that are really strong against ghost types like Gengar. So are we just forgetting that other ghost types are strong against ghost types? Tracy, mate, you're an absolute moron. Also, this is just another example of the English localization team being absolutely brilliant at their jobs, and I say that with the utmost sarcasm. Literally replacing lines about psychic and ground types being good against Gengar, and that informing Ash's decision to use Tauros, and replacing it with a blatantly incorrect statement about ghost types. 10 out of 10. Would dub again. Probably should dub again, actually. Do it right. Ash sends out Tauros and gets it to use Fissure. Lucky for Gengar, it's a 30% accuracy attack, so it's unlikely to land. Although lucky for Ash, abilities don't exist in this gen, so Gengar can't have Levitate, so it still at least has a chance to land. Although, if this was Gen 7 onwards, Gengar wouldn't even have Levitate anyway, so unlucky for Gengar. Although, lucky for Gengar, it can apparently just jump and avoid Fissure altogether. Man, what a roller coaster that was. Direct quote from the announcer.
Gengar springs to safety and avoids the Fissure attack. Now that Gengar's taken to the skies, ground attacks are useless and Tauros Tauros is in trouble.
Hang on, so all this time, literally any Pokemon has been able to become immune to ground-type moves just by jumping at the right time? I missed that memo. Christ, Pokemon really nerfed ground types here, didn't they? The announcer calls Gengar's Confuse Ray Confusion Ray, just in case anybody was wondering whether or not he knew what he was even talking about. After returning Tauros, Ash tries to figure out which Pokemon to use to beat Gengar. He figures that maybe Ice Beam would work, so sends out Lapras, and gets it to use Water Gun. Ash mate, I don't know how to tell you this, but that's not Ice Beam. Is there a reason he's suddenly switched strategy? Answers on a postcard, please. After Water Gun isn't enough to knock out Gengar, quelle surprise, Ash tells Lapras to actually use Ice Beam, and we get this direct quote from Lapras. You don't like that? Oh, puppy, I'm so sorry. I can't do Lapras impressions anymore. Ruby doesn't like them. So as Lapras uses Ice Beam, Gengar uses Nightshade at the exact same time, and apparently these two attacks can't penetrate each other, so just cause a massive explosion. Now, I'm no expert, but I don't think that's how either of these attacks work. There really is nothing quite like the Pokemon Anime writers using their creative license to make up any old bollocks, is there? And so the episode ends with us left on a cliffhanger. Who came out on top? Gengar? Lapras? Neither? We'll find out next time. I've got to say though, I've missed cliffhangers like this at the end of Pokemon episodes, giving us a reason to get excited to tune into the next one. You just don't get that from boring filler episodes, so it's nice to see some intense story action. It's just a shame that it's so rare for the Pokemon anime, especially around this point. Now take note of this, Pokemon, because I'm praising you, so learn from this episode. Although I am giving you feedback on something that's 20-something years old, so you can't really retroactively go back and fix anything, but my point is still valid. Honest. So those are my WTF moments of Pokemon Season 2, Episode 31. Hello, Pummelo. Let me know your favourites and any that I missed down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head to twitch.tv/AceTrainLiam for all of my live streams, and use code ACE for money off GFuel and pick up the Gary 2 Shaker. But until next time, I'm AceTrainLiam. Keep on training.